But it is time for the most fun part of the day, and that is to get to our game picks. So we will go ahead and get those rolling here. And it all starts off on a Thursday night football matchup with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Minnesota Vikings. This game is in Minnesota. The unfortunate thing is that, so for me anyway, with this game, let me actually start by giving you guys the line here. It is a Minnesota -3 line. Now, before I even realized that this game was a primetime game, I had automatically picked Minnesota because coming off of that demoralizing loss, I feel like they're going to be more focused than ever to play this game up against Pittsburgh. And Pittsburgh, I think they're coming off of a little bit of a high after getting a questionable win, I guess you would say, against Baltimore in the slightest. But I am going to go ahead and go against my better judgment. I do not like taking this, and I would not take this one to the bank whatsoever. I honestly would probably fade me in these picks. Oh, by the way, C4 does have a one-game lead on me at 118-76. I'm at 117-75 in our game picks for the season. But neither here nor there. We are going to split this, and C4 is going to take the Pittsburgh Steelers, and I am going to take the Minnesota Vikings in this game against my better judgment. I do not like taking the Minnesota Vikings in primetime with Kirk Cousins at the helm. But I do think that this is a kind of a resurgent focus game for Minnesota, and they are desperately trying to make it into the playoff picture, and they are going to be desperate for this one, because if they lose this game, I think that's it for them. I think that's a wrap. I think that's too much for them to overcome. Mathematically, obviously, they can still make it, but I think with a loss here, it is going to be too tough of a battle for them to get back into that race, especially with multiple interconference losses and multiple divisional losses. So just going to be a tough battle if they can't get it done. Now, looking over at the Sunday schedule, Vegas is going to take on the Kansas City Chiefs in that noon window. I'm taking the Kansas City Chiefs, and so is C4. So pretty chalk there. I don't think anybody expected anything different out of us there. New Orleans, though, is going... Oh, sorry. Let me go back. Kansas City is -8.5 at home favorites for this game. So there's the line there if you need it for you degenerates. But New Orleans is taking on the New York Jets. New Orleans is going to be a -5.5 point favorite on the road. I just don't agree with that. New Orleans has not looked like any sort of a decent team the last few weeks, whereas the Jets also look like a horrible team. But they're on the road, New Orleans is. So I have to take the home team in this one, and I believe, just checking, yes, C4 also is taking the New York Jets. I don't think you're ever going to see this again, a consensus New York Jets pick out of us here. That is interesting to say the least, and concerning to say the most. Let's go ahead and look at the next game on the schedule. Jacksonville is going to be on the road against the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee is a -8.5 point favorite at home, and I've got Tennessee in... Just got to make sure. Yes, so does C4, so that is that. Baltimore is going to be on another divisional road game here against the Cleveland Browns. Cleveland is -2.5 in this game. I have not yet picked this game just because this is such a tough game to choose. I'm leaning Baltimore. I have not checked his pick yet on that one, but I am taking Baltimore. And let's see. Yes, he is as well on the road. I think Baltimore is going to have to kind of get back to where they want to be at this point in winning divisional games. This is going to be a desperate game for both teams. It's going to be a scrappy one, and I think it's going to be very ugly. But I think at the end of the day, Baltimore's offensive firepower is going to be too much for Cleveland, whereas Cleveland, I just don't think will have enough to take advantage of the suspect defense right now of Baltimore. Whereas I do believe Baltimore's offense will be able to get something going against this stout Cleveland defense. So there's a difference for me. I just think offensively, Baltimore has a little bit too much for the Browns to handle. Now, Atlanta will take on Carolina in a divisional tilt here. Carolina is at home, minus 2.5-point favorites. This game is going to suck, but I am taking the Carolina Panthers. C4 here is going to take the Atlanta Falcons. So interesting there. I like to see it. So multiple games so far now that are going to be different here. But yeah, I just think Carolina's at home. Carolina has a little bit more of an opportunity here to try to get that 7th seed here in the playoff picture. Whereas Atlanta, I just think they have the same opportunity. They're both 5-7, but it is going to be tougher, I think, for Atlanta to get it done with the way that their offense just isn't really there. It's kind of anemic at this point, and their defense is just Swiss cheese right now. So I think Carolina has better coaching. I think Carolina has a better opportunity offensively. I'm taking Carolina in this game. Again, C4 is going to take Atlanta. Dallas is going to take on the Washington football team here. Dallas on the road is a -4. This is a tough game to pick here. It's no fun. I'm taking Dallas in this game. It looks like C4 here is taking the Washington football team. I don't like the pick. I don't like the game because this is a tough divisional matchup. Washington has been on the rise. This is a game I don't want to pick, but I have to, and I just think Dallas's offense is too good. We rarely ever see back-to-back bad games, or just kind of subpar games out of Dak and Zeke. So whether Zeke is going to be there or not, if they do decide to finally sit him and let him rest up before the playoff run here, or if he does play, I think they are going to utilize him effectively. And I do think they're going to utilize Dak effectively and finally get some of their wide receivers back into the fold, fully healthy, getting CeeDee Lamb to recover from that concussion finally, and kind of getting Amari Cooper fully incorporated back up to game speed rather. So I do believe this is going to be a game where Dallas is going to be able to figure this thing out. But I will not be shocked if the football team goes ahead and steals this game at home. So simple as that. It's not a fun game. It's not a fun game to pick, but it is going to be a very, very fun game to watch. So can't wait for that. The Seattle Seahawks will be taking on the Houston Texans. Seattle is a -7.5-point favorite. I am not buying the cheese that Seattle is trying to sell me right now. I don't believe that was a statement win out of Seattle against San Francisco there by any means. I think San Francisco fell asleep at the wheel, and Seattle took advantage of that. So with this game, Seattle going on the road to take on the Houston Texans, I think Houston's here to play spoiler. I'm taking Houston in this game to upset the Seattle Seahawks. C4 is going to take Seattle on the road. He's buying that Pete Carroll cheese over there. I'm just playing around. I know he is going to get at me for saying that about his pick, but I don't buy it out of Seattle right now. I still don't think that they're a good team at the moment, and I don't believe they're going to be able to pull this game out. Now, interesting enough, they are putting Detroit in that noon window, that midday window on Sunday this upcoming week. Detroit is going to take on the Denver Broncos. That is actually probably going to be a very interesting game to watch. I think Detroit is running on a high after their win against the Minnesota Vikings, but I do believe Denver is going to pull this game out and get themselves another win, and so does C4 here. Pretty simple there. I don't see the Detroit Lions stringing together back-to-back wins here. I'll be shocked, but I do still think that they play really good football. So not to say that I'm going to be shocked if they win another game. I I'm going to be shocked if they win back-to-back games, is what I'm trying to say. The New York Giants are going to take on the LA Chargers here. Chargers are at home. They are minus 9.5-point favorites as well. I'm taking the Chargers. The Giants are an anemic offense, a horrible defense. They have not been able to put anything together. I think this is the time that the Chargers get to tune themselves up before they have to play some tougher competition here. So they have to get this win just because these are games that they can't drop at this point, as they are 7-5 and trying to fight for their wild card lives right now. They're going to have to get this win, and after a win against the Cincinnati Bengals team, a very hot Cincinnati Bengals team, they have to keep this going. So I'm taking the Chargers, and so is C4 here. Also, Buffalo is going to take on Tampa Bay. This is a very, very tough game to pick. Tampa Bay is -3 at home here. C4's got Tampa Bay, and so do I. I do believe Buffalo will be a team that is in the playoffs. I cannot imagine Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Emmanuel Sanders, Cole Beasley sitting out this week or going into Wild Card Week. They are no longer a team that I can think compete for the AFC crown, just because they have such an uphill battle right now. But I do think that they are going to compete at least for that wild card spot, and try to make it hell for any team that has to play them. But man, the Bills this is a tough task for them. And Tampa has looked better and better every week. I will not be shocked if Buffalo's defense makes it very, very tough on Tampa Bay's offense. But I think at the end of the day, Tampa Bay's offense is going to be too much for Buffalo's offense, and that's just going. I don't think Buffalo is going to be able to keep pace because they don't have a run game. So it's as simple as that for me. San Francisco is going to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. I think this line is completely disrespectful to the Cincinnati Bengals. San Francisco is going to come in at a -1.5-point favorite here. I don't know. Are they having Joe Burrow? Is this because Joe Burrow has been declared out? Because I have not seen that news. Let me just look that up before I lock in my pick here. Because he didn't practice today, but he's still not classified as out. So I'll say this: if Joe Burrow is playing, regardless of how injured his finger is, I'm taking Cincinnati in this game. But if he's out, then I do kind of understand that line a little bit more. But I'm taking Cincinnati with the pretense that it is Cincinnati with Joe Burrow. If it is San Francisco against Joe Burrow, if it's Cincinnati without Joe Burrow, then I would take San Francisco in this game. Right now, C4's got San Francisco on his list, so I'm thinking he's assuming that Joe Burrow is not playing, but that hasn't been determined yet. So you might have to watch out for a little bit of a post from me if that news does come out that he is not playing. So that's the only caveat I have on that one. Primetime games for this week. Chicago Bears are on the road against Green Bay. They're going up to cold Lambeau there, -12.5. Green Bay is going to be at home. I unfortunately had to write Green Bay down on my sheet here, and so did C4 here. Hold on a second, guys. I don't have C4's Monday night pick, so I'll have to get that from him, and you guys will see that later on. So you'll see an update post from me. But he does have Green Bay as well. On Monday Night Football, I am taking the Arizona Cardinals. I'm assuming that he's taking Arizona, but you never know. LA Rams is definitely a tough team to play, and they definitely are desperate for more wins. So Arizona's -2.5 at home, though, and Kyler Murray is looking like he's trying to reclaim that MVP candidacy. So we'll see. But teams on a bye: Indianapolis, Miami, New England, and Philadelphia. All teams that are definitely in much need of a bye, as they have the latest bye ever in the NFL at Week 14. And these are the last teams that are going to be on a bye, so everybody will be playing from Week 15 out. So definitely going to be interested to see how those things play out here. Well, that is going to do it for today's show. I want to thank you guys for listening. Definitely go check out, get involved in the comments down below. Let us know what you think about all of our picks and our power rankings and whatnot. But go check out our Twitter at @the_square_pod to get the full rankings, all 1 through 32 for the power rankings there. And we will catch you guys in the next one.